Hey everybody, Fun Stampers Journey Coach Janice Whiting here. Today I have a fun card tutorial for you. Fun because it is one of my favorite themes, which is florals. Extra fun because I am using quite a few different colors of our ink pads, and specifically because our inks are 20% off this month. And so what is today? Today's 26th, Saturday 26th, so you have just a few more days to take advantage of this ink pad sale. So 20% off all of our regular True Color Fusion ink pads. So I'm super excited. I used some fun stamp sets, which you're going to want to. So do you want to see the card? You probably already saw it because it's going to be in the picture of the video, but you know, whatever. All right, so here it is. And it's also, oh, hello phone. It's also a very simple card. There are no layers, flat. So this is the perfect kind of a card if you want to mail to a friend because it's flat and no extra postage, right? Okay, so here we go. Here it is in all of its glory. Isn't it fun? So pretty. Look at all those beautiful flowers and greenery and just fun, fun, fun. Flat, completely flat. Really, there's nothing here layered except for I did put some Journey Glaze on the little wings, which you probably can't see. Oh, there it is. So anyway, so this is it. You might be thinking, wow, Janice, that's just stamps and ink. It is. It is not pattern paper. You can create this as well. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera upside down or whatever it goes that way. And then I'm going to show you how it's done so that you can do it too. All right. Okay, so we have our lovely floral card here, and again, remember, it's just pretty flat, nothing sticking out, but isn't that so pretty? Now, I have to give credit where credit is due, and if you go on to, gosh, I think I just Google searched floral cards or flower cards. This kind of design is everywhere. If you see, you can see it on stationery, you could see it at the store. And so this is not my, I mean, it is my creation as far as I came up with the stamps. I chose the stamps and all of that, but the layout and just the idea behind it, I have to give credit to whoever thought it up on the internet. So if you do a search, you would easily find lots of these kinds of styles, okay, or designs, I should say. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what you're going to need. So the card base itself, if you look at it, it is our purple, and it's actually one of our purples called Lavender Fusion. Okay, and so you're going to need an A2 size card base in Lavender Fusion. Okay, and we are doing the tent fold style. From there, you're going to need a piece of our whipped cream. And the dimensions here are 3 3/4 by 5.5. Okay, so that will go right on top of that Lavender Fusion panel. And then the last little piece you'll need is a little strip of our black licorice right here, and this is about 1/2 inch by 5 3/4, and this is going to be put underneath the panel once your panel is all done, and it just gives just a little extra pop, a nice fun design element to your card. When we're all done, we will put that there. So right now, all you will need is your whipped cream panel. You can put the other pieces off to the side. Now let me go ahead and introduce the stamp sets we're using. Now I chose 3. One of my very favorites from last year that is still current, and a new one. Okay, so I'll start with my favorite from last year first. So you guys have seen me use this stamp set before. It's called Lead Me, and it's my favorite for multiple reasons. Number one, it's faith-based, so it's got some really great encouraging sentiments like God is on your side, let faith arise, sending prayers. And then number 2, look at all of these fun little nature elements. So some sprigs, leaves, and then a couple of fun blooms. I just love this set. It is so versatile. It makes some really beautiful bouquets, and as you'll see in our card, it just really it brings the card together. So love this set. Again, Lead Me. Then another favorite, which you have seen me use this before, Spring Bouquet. Out of this set, I use this large bloom here, the center, and I say the center, the second layer and the third layer, okay, out of this set. And then as well as this small little burst here. So I used quite a few here in this stamp set. So it's called Spring Bouquet. And then, new to this year, set that I just love to pieces is called Chosen Family. And look at all of that goodness. Oh my goodness. I love, 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 love it. So multiple cute images. Love all of these fun. There's so much texture to them. I mean, so easy to create something pretty with these because like the work is pretty much all done for you. And I use this, and I use this, and I use this, and I use this little guy and this little piece. And the sentiment I chose is friends are our chosen family. So that is kind of the namesake for this stamp set, Chosen Family. New this catalog year, love it. So those are the 3 sets that I use. I know you're gonna love them. Now, I told you in the beginning that this is going to focus on our beautiful inks. Our inks are amazing, and we use quite a few of them in this card. Now, the really super cool thing that we're focusing on in this card is that if you are familiar with our colors, you might be going, I don't recognize this color, or this color, or this color, or I don't even think we have this color. Now, and you'd be right, we don't, or shall I say, maybe we do. Because the amazing thing about our True Color Fusion inks is that they are layerable, okay? Meaning I can stamp this color, and then I can go and grab this color, and I will get this color right here. Love it. Okay, so and just look at that. It blends so beautifully, naturally. You can't even tell that that's 2 colors layered together. So I'm so excited to show you about it. So super cool. Now, if you are not familiar with our inks, I highly suggest that you watch my video on our True Color Fusion inks. I've got I think like 1 or 2 videos on our True Color Fusion inks. They are kind of explain it just real quick. I'll give a real quick synopsis. Our True Color Fusion is a hybrid ink. Okay, it is a pigment and dye-based ink together. Okay, the amazing thing about that is that you've got the dark, rich color of the pigment type inks, and then you've got the dye-based ink element to it, so it doesn't fade, it doesn't smear. It's waterproof. You can use water with it, and they won't smear, blend, or bleed. So really, it's like the best of both worlds. It is archival safe, again, fade resistant, acid free. You just get this awesome, awesome, vibrant look. And really, like I said, what I love about it is that they are layerable, which is what I'm going to show you right now. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and step this aside. Now, the one other thing that you will need for this project, and I guess you maybe could probably do without it, but I would not recommend it, is some sort of stamping tool. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my little Stampaholic Nano here. Let me see if I can zoom. Actually, I'm going to just move the ink pads a little bit, get these out of the way. And the reason why is because since we are layering our ink colors, you need to be able to stamp in the same place, multiple times. And that is where the stamping tool really comes in handy. So it does not matter which tool you have. Richard, we need a stamping tool for FSJ. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Because right now I'm using this one. Obviously there's the Misty, there's the new one from Tim Holtz, I think is much bigger. Richard, come on, we need one for FSJ. Anyway, so again, you need one of these because of the multi-layers, multiple stamps, stamping that we're going to be doing, okay? All right, so we're going to do this. And now the other thing you're going to need, so, gosh, I don't think I introduced it as an easy card. I would say this is probably an expert level card, and only because you're doing some specific techniques. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring in these little masks. So prior to making your card, you're going to need some masks, okay? And a mask is basically just a stamped image of your particular stamp and then fussy cut out. I know we hate fussy cutting, but it is necessary for this project. Now I will say, don't use cardstock to get your images. Use some paper, just kind of a lighter weight paper. I will say don't use super lightweight paper because the ink goes through and then it gets onto your card when you're stamping. I had to actually cover up 2 of my images because I was doing the masking technique and the ink seeped through. So just keep that in mind. The best is to get like some heavier weight, but not cardstock weight paper. This is just copy paper. I think it's 32 pound weight, I think, paper. So it's enough for that you can get a nice crisp, clear image, but not too much where you have kind of like, I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Anyway, so you'll need one of the large bloom, one of each of the 2 blooms in the lead me. You'll need 1 or 2, I think just 1, I don't know why I have 2, of this, one of the blooms from Chosen Family. And then you'll need 2, or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of these little guys, these little blooms. These are the ones that are most annoying to cut out, sorry, but it is important for this particular project. All right, so I'm going to move these off to the side. We'll use those in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn my board this direction because this is the orientation that I'll be using or creating my card with. One thing else that I do is I just cut out a little piece of paper. This is complete scrap paper from I don't even know what. And I just put it on there just to keep my base clean. I don't want the back of my card to get all dirty. So I'm just going to put that there first. And then bring over my card base. Now I'm going to be moving this up and down and around because if you've seen and you'll notice that a lot of this is stamped off the page, okay? And so in order to do that with one of these tools, I have to kind of move it around a bit. So I'm going to start off with the stamp in the corner, and so I'm going to move this up here. And we are going to start with this stamp right here. And again, it is from the Spring Bouquet stamp set, this image right here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my block C, which is about, it's a nice size for pretty much everything we're using today. I will use a smaller one for the smaller blooms. And then this I chose, and actually I don't even know why I brought this block out. I'm not. I will be using the block, but not this one. I forgot I'm using my stamping tool. Hello, Janice. So the wonderful thing about the stamping tool is you can kind of arrange the flower how you like it. And I think I just want it kind of right there in the corner. And rubber down, foam up so that it clings to the cover. And again, the magnets are important. And you know what? I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see all of what I'm doing here. So I've got the magnet here to hold the paper in place. And then we are using Great Fusion. And we won't be layering this one, but we will just be using this one as the color as is. It's exactly what I was looking for. And so we are going to ink up that stamp. And I will probably ink it up and stamp this a couple of times. There's the other magnet. 1. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. But I want you to notice as I ink this up multiple times how it gets richer. It's just a lovely richer color, and I love that about our inks. They get richer and darker as you continue stamping with it. Beautiful. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I kind of like that. What's the word? Saturation. And I'm going to move my stamp over to a different area. Let's go to this little area down here. I say down here. Y'all, these magnets are so strong. Let's see. I'm going to do the one kind of towards the middle right side of the card there. So I'm going to take my stamp, and again, he is kind of a little bit off. Maybe just a couple parts of his petals are out here. We'll do it there. Again, same steps we're going to ink this up. Probably 2 times like I did just a minute ago. Do you like that bee? That's stamp bee. My little girl had a birthday party to attend this morning, and it was at a bouncing house. Okay, and then one more time. Beautiful. Gosh, I'm in love with our colors. I love it. I love our inks. They are so super cool. Okay, so next I'm going to do the one kind of towards the top. Let me see if I can shift that down a little bit. And let's see, I want him to be, again, I just want him positioned a little off the page, not completely, just a little, about right there. How about that? I'm going to put him further down, actually. There we go. All right, and then again with our grape fusion, a couple times. 1 and twice. Okay, good. Beautiful. All right, so I've got my 3 major blooms. Now, you guys, if you're wondering why I chose 3, odd numbers just in general are more aesthetically pleasing, or so the scientists say, and I believe them. Okay, so we've got the big solid bloom. So now we're going to come back and we're going to fill in the details for these blooms. So no doubling up on the layers quite yet. We're going to go ahead and do the second step to that particular flower, and it is kind of like this veiny image. Let's see if I can find it here. Here it is. It's this little guy. So it's got these fun, cool, like veiny details. I love it. And let's see here. Let's start with this one first. And they kind of line up pretty well. I just try to make sure that one of the little points of the flower are kind of right on top, right in the center. Oops, I did it wrong, didn't I? Haha. Rubber side down. You know, they kind of line up. There is, sometimes you put it down and you're like, that doesn't quite line up. So just kind of play with it, make it line up as best as you can. Then you can grab it onto the door there. Okay, and then I used our darkest purple that we have in our FSJ color selection called Pretty Pansy. I didn't want it black. I wanted it to still be purple in the purple family. And so I chose Pretty Pansy, and I did do this. I did stamp it twice, just again, so it would have a nice, rich, vibrant color. Ooh, love it. Love it. And then one more time. So one thing you'll want to know about our inks is that they'll stamp dark, real dark, and then they will, the fade is not the right word because it doesn't sound like fade, but because it's wet, anything wet is usually dark, okay? So once it dries, it just lightens just a little bit. So just, that's an FYI for you. So I always like to do testers just to kind of, make sure I know exactly what I'm getting. All right, I'm going to move this one over to this flower. I think I got it mostly in the right place. And again, with Pretty Pansy, 1 and, oopsie, one more time, 2. Now we're going to switch it over to this other one. And you may notice that I'm cleaning this every time. And the reason being is because when I lay this down onto the new image, I don't always get it right the first time. So I'd rather not have kind of that extra, random inking. I'm going to have to move this over just a little bit here for it to fit. And I think this will fit good right there. Excellent. Wow, I didn't mean to have that fall so quick. So again, with the Pretty Pansy, 1 and 2. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Alrighty. Okay, so we're done with Pretty Pansy. We've got all of the centers done. So now let's go ahead and add our next color, which is this beautiful whipped cream color. Now, I do want to say something about our whipped cream because it is not your typical color. Our whipped cream is not a true color fusion cream. And let's see if I can grab it here so we can look at it. I had them all lined up and then I moved them to get out of the way. And this is what happens pretty much every time. Here it is. Our whipped cream. Now I'm going to go to open it. So you're going to notice that it is a little different. It looks a little spongy. And that's because, again, this is not a true color fusion. This actually is a pigment ink, okay? So, and you'll notice it right there. It says pigment ink. So our buttercream and our whipped cream are pigment inks, and so they do take a little bit longer to dry. Whereas these, they're done. They won't smear or anything. When we stamp with our whipped cream, it will take a little bit longer to dry. So just keep that in mind as you're working with it. Also, this whipped cream, I was about to say, I don't think it is a part of our sale. I think it's just our regular True Color Fusion inks. So just keep that in mind as well as you are ordering. You will want this ink pad, I promise you that. Even though this particular one may not be on sale. But anyway, we're moving on. The middle is what I like to call this little blobby kind of image. I don't really know how else to describe it. It just looks like a splat with little dots in the middle, and it's hilarious to me. But it's really, really pretty, and it's really, really effective. And here is the card with that splat in the middle. I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. And this is what we're going to go ahead and use for the centers here. And I try to line up these little 1, 2, 3 little parts sticking out, and I don't know if I actually get it quite. I don't think I pay really too much attention, but as long as they're going towards one and another, that's really all I need. So I think that's pretty good right there. I'm gonna go ahead and move that down, and then with this one, just be real careful because the whipped cream is a pigment ink. You don't want to press too hard onto the stamp because then you'll just get a nice lovely smear of ink, and we don't want that. Once, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I think you guys get the picture, right? Just want y'all to make sure you see the actual image. And then twice. Right over it. Press down gently but firmly. Beautiful. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe this stamp off so that when I reposition it on my next bloom, it does not get all over it. So here's my next bloom, and let's see. I think he's going to go right here. Yes, I like him right there, I think. Maybe a little bit closer up. There we go. That's good for now. All right, so we're going to ink this guy up. and we're going to stamp him again. So you will notice a difference when you use our True Color Fusion hybrid ink and when you use just this particular one, which again is just a hybrid, excuse me, which is just a pigment. So it's got that nice spongy, very juicy pad. Kind of, I was about to say, kind of a little chalky. It's a little chalky, not too chalky. And I'm going to go ahead and clean it off before I go to the next one. Go. All right, and then we will move this little guy. Actually, I think he's just fine where he's at, but I'll move so he can see. You can see there. And let's see here. Let's have him go. I'm going to have him go. I don't know. I think maybe like this. That's pretty good for me. Again, inking this up. It's easier for me to ink it with the lid flat than just trying to get it at an angle. And then one. Pretty, pretty. Love it, love it. You will notice that our pigment ink, it is a little sticky. Again, the pigment is just a little, it's just juicier. And then twice here. Voila. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. So that's our whipped cream. And I pulled up our sales sheet here. And I wanted to tell you for sure. And whipped cream is part of the sale. So my bad, it is part of the sale. So you can get this 20% off as well. The ones that are not on sale are our metallics, so our gold and our silver, as well as our clear pigment. Our clear pigment one is not on sale. Excuse me here as I wipe this off. Our neon colors, are kind of brights, our trendy colors are also on sale, so just FYI. Okay, so we've got our beautiful purple larger blooms done. So now we're going to go ahead and go and kind of move towards our other large blooms, and those are the ones that are featured in the Lead Me. And Chosen. So actually, let's go ahead and do the Chosen family first. So let's see here. We have these pretty, they're so pretty. I love them. So we have this fun image, and this is a solid. Okay, and I used the solid once, and the solid one I used in the corner. So I'm going to move this down just a wee bit. There we go. And let's position him. And I had him coming right out of that corner, just like that. Okay, there we go. And for this one, we're using our Watermelon Fusion. So I'm going to move this kind of back here. Again, it's so much easier for me to just tap this directly onto the stamp. Now, when you stamp, if you get a little bit onto the leaves portion, as I did, I think you should be okay, but you can always wipe it off just in case. And I said you should be okay because we have oriented this stamp just so that it, if it did, when it comes down, it won't even be on the paper anyway, but you know. So there's one. So pretty. I love our Watermelon Fusion. So pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and do it twice, maybe 3 times. I'm trying to remember. Really, it's all about saturation. And I love our inks, how saturated they are to begin with, but especially that you can go over and over and over again and get as solid or as saturated as an image as you want. So beautiful. I love that one there. Okay, so we've got him there, and I think I only use him once. And then I kind of use the outlined one, the one that's kind of a little bit more kind of a line drawing. I use him a couple of times. Now, don't you love these bottom leaves? I actually don't use them in this particular card. I only use the top image, but you can use them. Okay, so we're gonna move him over here to the top left. There we go. And then we're going to orient this guy. Actually, I think I might have to move him a little bit further up even then. because this guy's going to come right here, right about there. Yep. Oops, I did it again, didn't I? Here we go. How about that? And I don't think there's any overlapping here, so I don't have to cover anything there. But it's always good to always be aware. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put that magnet there. It is important that you put the magnet just so that there isn't any shifting. And for this one, I chose our Lavender Fusion. And Lavender Fusion is such a pretty color. Such a pretty color. I love it. Okay, so we're going to stamp him a couple times as well. And actually in this instance, because I think the leaves do carry over, I'm going to try to mask them as I stamp. See if I can make sure I can get them all covered. All right. Come back over. Stamp him once. So pretty. And we'll do it one more time. Again, covering the leaves there. All right. And coming down. Here we go. Twice. Beautiful. Love that color. I don't know if you can actually see. I feel like on the camera it's not showing it. It's definitely a I don't know, a reddish purple, even though it's very purple. It's got a tinge of red. Yeah, I don't think the camera's picking it up, but it's there, I promise. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wipe off this little guy, my stamp, and position him in the second spot, which is up here by this flower. So I'm gonna put him over. And actually, I might have to pick up my card a little bit. Move it up and over here so I've got more room. So this guy is going to go here, just kind of coming up and over. Right there. Good. And he does overlap a wee bit. Maybe not even that much, honestly. Just I did overlap him a little bit. Put my magnets down. Don't move. And there we go. And then he is also Lavender Fusion. Cover up those leaves there. Bring him back down. Beautiful. And you see how he overlaps just a wee bit there. Bring back that Lavender Fusion. And last time, giving it just a little bit more of a saturated look. Beautiful. Okay, so he's there. And now we can move on to our other flowers from our Lead Me set. I'll move him back here in the center. And let's see here. Let's use this one first. We're going to use this bloom, again, from our Lead Me set. And we are going to use a fun color called Raspberry Berry. So super cute. And pretty. So we're going to position this little guy here in the corner, close to, I think he's, yeah, I think he's pretty good right there. It does look like he's overlapping, but he's actually, again, how many times did I do that, guys? He'll be like right there. Not too close, but just a little. Just a wee bit. All right. Gonna go ahead and put him down there. And we're going to bring over this Raspberry Berry. And we will stamp him, I think, a couple times. One. Perfect. And 2 again for that nice, solid, super saturated color. Oh, love it. Oh my goodness, I love it. I'm in love. I'm in love with their inks. Okay, we got him down, so now let's go ahead and move over to our very first color that we are going to custom make ourselves. That's right, you heard me. We are custom making a color. So we are going to basically work down here, and we're going to put this little bloom right here on the edge. He might have a little bit off and maybe just a tad bit overlapping. And we are going to combine 2 beautiful colors that I think you will love, and we are going to create this color right here. Isn't that fun? Again, gosh, it's so hard to pick up on this screen, but it's a super fun color. So the 2 colors that we are mixing Lavender Fusion, and kind of the one color that I'm mixing a lot in this particular card is Riverstone. And the reason being is because if you'll notice the color kind of theme is got a little bit of a muted tone to it, which I love. So it's got some grays, basically is what that means. And the gray that we brought in this case is Riverstone. So here's what I did, okay? First, I stamped it in Lavender Fusion. So going ahead, opening it, we're going to stamp Lavender Fusion right there. Press down. Voila, you've got your Lavender Fusion, right? Okay, so now I'm going to switch and I'm going to stamp, same stamp, I'm not moving it, I'm leaving it there. And again, I'm gonna layer on our Riverstone, okay? So we've got Lavender Fusion laid down, now we're gonna stamp Riverstone, okay? And then we're going to do one more layer of Lavender Fusion, and then we're going to let it dry. And you're going to notice, again, remember I told you that when it's wet, it seems darker than what it really is. So don't freak out if you do this at home and you're like, ah, that's not the color I wanted. I promise it'll turn out that beautiful muted grayish purple that is on that original card. And then one more time, Lavender Fusion. And then boom. Now you might be wondering, why did I mix them and I did Lavender Fusion, then gray, then Lavender Fusion? Why didn't I do 2 lavenders and a gray? As I was playing with it, they layer and mix really well when you do just that, when you layer them, kind of sandwich them together. Now you can play around and create your own, but I think the makeup of this ink works really well when it's still wet and you do another color. It just kind of almost fuses together, which is super cool. So again, it's a little wet, so it's not as light as it will be. It looks quite dark now, but trust me, it's going to be that color right there. I promise. Okay. Let's go ahead. We've got that one. From there, let's see. We got all our big blooms, I think. Woohoo! We got all our big blooms. Okay, so from there, let's do some of our kind of our smaller blooms. And that is this little guy right here. If I can find him. Here he is. This little guy right here. He is fun. He's such a fun guy because he fills in a lot of really great places, which is fun to use. Fun to have filler stamps or filler images. All right, so let's see here. Let's use, I used our really dark purple, our pretty pansy, to kind of make some standout little blooms here and there. So we're going to do our first one right here, and this is where we go ahead and we use one of our masks. So we're going to take this mask and cover, actually I think, is he the right one? Yeah, I think he was the right one. And just cover that little area right there. There we go. Woo! These magnets are pretty strong. And then they stick together and it's really hard to get them out. Okay. Now it is important that you get the mask quite right. I see that they're not exactly there. Just because when you stamp over your image, if it's not masked off just right, you'll get some of that ink color onto your flower and doesn't quite have the same effect. Okay, so this guy's gonna go right here, a little bit off from the top. Gives me a little space for a stem later on, and just a little bit over. Here we go. There we go, and he is going to be pretty pansy, like I mentioned earlier. It's really pretty dark, our darkest purple. And I think I'll stamp him twice. One, so pretty. Two, ooh, I got that ink there. Okay, got him all done. So fun. Okay, so you see there? It looks like he's behind this pink flower. Love it. Okay, there's another one that I have him coming up behind this flower here. And let's see if I can move this up just a little bit. There we go. And let's see here. So he's going to be right behind that flower, but before I put him on, I need to mask him. And so he's going to be masked right there. Again, I don't want it to be inked over. Okay, so then I believe I just have him kind of in the corner here. Right there. I kind of like the sporadic leaves or petals that this little one has. Right there in the corner, again with the pretty pansy. And again, I will ink him up twice. Once. And I'm going to make sure this ink doesn't come on there. There we go. Take him off. Aha. Okay, now see how there's that white border that I mentioned? That happens sometimes, and a lot of times it's when you have a paper that's too thick and so the ink doesn't go over, and this one isn't too thick, so it is what it is. I have an easy fix for that, which I'll talk at the end. I mention it at the end. But for now, he's there, and let's go to my third location for him, which is way over here. I've got him in his own little spots right there. So again, I will ink him up twice. Once. Twice. Beautiful. Okay, so I've got those three done. Now the next thing is the center of that flower. And the center is this little bitty image, this little dot. And I actually only use him once, and so I use him on my block D. So it's this little dots image. Let's see if I can show you. These little cute little dots. It just adds fun little texture to those sweet flowers. And we are using our whipped cream again for that. And so I just gently ink him up and go right over the center, and hopefully my hair won't be in the way. Beautiful. And again, ink him up again for this little guy here. So firm pressure there. And then I am going to go ahead and ink him up here, even though I will be coming back and adding a little more ink here. But for now, perfect. All right. So fun. Adds so much texture. I love these flower stamps. They are super fun to play with. Okay, so we've got those flowers. Now let's do some leaves. I think in this one I just kind of I went for it. I did these green leaves first, and then I came back and added some of this other foliage. Oh, you know what? I forgot. There is our little pinkies here, here, and here. So let's add those one real quick before we move on. Okay, before we do all of our fun foliage pieces. And so this next color that we're using is Bubblegum Pink. It's a very sweet color. Bubblegum Pink, so fun. And so I've got a little bubblegummy right over here, and he is kind of behind this petal, and I realize you can't see that. He's behind that petal just a little bit. And so in order to do that, I'm going to get my mask, and the mask does kind of line up pretty well. So when you fussy cut this, do try to fussy cut it pretty close to the edges there. So that will go right here. So let's see here, we're going to use our Bubblegum Pink. And I will probably ink him up twice as kind of per usual here. One. There he is. And one last time. Two. Yes, I like that saturation. Very good. Okay, and then from here, let's do the one that's hiding behind this flower. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick up that and bring him over again. Mask that up. And technically, I mean, I probably don't have to mask it. And actually, I'm thinking I won't, because this is a darker color pink, and I might get into the white, but I'm not too concerned. Okay, so this pink will go right here in this little vicinity against the edge. And again, gonna ink him up a couple times. Beautiful. There we go. All right. Excellent. Okay, so he's there, and then we've got one more down here towards the middle, kind of up here. Love it. He's kind of all there by his lonesome, at least for now. In a minute, we're gonna bring out his friends. One. And, ooh, my paper keeps moving. Two. Excellent. Oh, I just realized I didn't put the magnets down. Oh well, did pretty good. That didn't move. Way to go, you. Okay, now kind of an opposite to the others, I did a light center for the ones that were the dark purple. This time I'm going to do a dark purple inside the light. And again, I just used the block, but he's all dirty, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean him up. And I'm not going to be stamping him twice. The dark is pretty dark, and I'm not concerned with doing multiple stamps there. So again, pretty pansy for the centers. I'm using my block D, and he's going to go right above and over. Love it. So pretty. And then this one here. Got it. And then this one hiding back here. And now actually I will use the mask, just because I don't want the purple to show through here. That I don't want to happen. These magnets will stick to just about anything metal. All right. And he will go right over there. Excellent. So that masked, and so now you can only see that part of it. Yes. All right, so here we go. All right, now we've got all of our blooms. Now let's get to some of those fun leaves, which really the leaves, you know, there are filler, but they bring this to life, and I am in love. It is so fun to play with these leaves. Okay, so we're going to use, let's see, which one should I do? Oh yes, I forgot. We're going to do these beautiful trio of leaves. I actually technically only used 2 of them, but still, they're beautiful. And we're doing another layering technique. And let's see, we are using Fresh Forest and Blue Lagoon. So we're doing Blue Lagoon here, and there's Blue Lagoon. And Fresh Forest as soon as I can find my Fresh Forest, because, you know, they grow legs when I create, and then they go for a walk, and then they come back eventually. Guys, I just had Fresh Forest. Here's Fresh Forest. It was literally right under my nose. So again, we're going to be using Blue Lagoon and Fresh Forest, and we are creating, I wanted to create like a blue-green, really is what I wanted. And Blue Lagoon is a blue-green, but it's quite blue-ish, and so I wanted a greener blue-green, I guess you can say. So which is the color that I have here. It is such a fun, beautiful, vibrant blue-green. I am in love. And so that is what we're going to do. So in this instance, I think I just stamped once with each color, which is awesome. Kind of limits my stamping there. Don't have to do as much work. And I'm going to start by covering up this bloom first. We're going to do both of those flowers there. Let's see if I can match up these petals. There we go. That one matches up pretty nicely. Actually, I'm going to grab this one here. And the petals, I think I just used these 2 here. I think that's kind of, I say petals, the leaves. Yes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I do kind of try not to get any ink on that one, but you know, if I do, I do. So I'm going in first with Blue Lagoon. Okay. I got my beautiful blue petals, so they are kind of blue there. And then I grab my Fresh Forest, and the Fresh Forest is very much a nice dark forest green. And I come up and over those blue petals that I just stamped. Oh, and you get this beautiful green color. I'm just like in love with it. I'm in love with our inks. I am in love with this technique. So pretty. So pretty. Now, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and stamp one of each color onto some just spare white cardstock, so you can kind of see the difference between the original color and the color that we created. So there's that. Let me go ahead and grab my leaves. Move that guy back over. There you go. Now, y'all, I know it's going to be a long video. Just fast forward, right? We still have fast forward, right? Just go zoop, zoop, skip ahead. But you do want to see this. So this is our Blue Lagoon, okay? And it's obviously pretty blue. It's like a, I don't know. I mean, it is a blue-green, but it's not that green, really. And then Fresh Forest is here. Okay, see 2 distinctly different colors. Beautiful colors, I love them, and I do use them separately for different things, but this one I wanted to mix. And so when you mix them together, I just want you to see that. Isn't that so stinking cool? Love, love, love. So you get a very, really true kind of a bluish green kind of color. I love it, love it, love it. So remember, we mixed Blue Lagoon and Fresh Forest to get that beautiful color. And back here, don't forget this one, we mixed Riverstone and Lavender Fusion. Remember I told you that would lighten up a little bit? And it has lightened up a wee bit. Now let's go ahead and use that same technique because we're going to put some leaves on each of these big purple blooms. And so again, same technique, different flower here. I say different flower. Yes, same. Well, you get what I mean. Okay, so this one will go, actually let me go ahead and create that mask, put that mask back over. I don't want those beautiful purple petals to get any blue on them. And this leaf kind of came up and over, actually let me move that over that way so my stamp fits. I think right about there. Maybe a little higher up. Okay, very good. Is that what I wanted? Oh, I think I actually used the opposite. I think I actually used these guys. This is like this. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I do want to make sure that I get a good bit of that leaf showing because it's such a pretty color. I want to see it more of it. Okay, and so then I'm only inking up these two petals there. Again, starting with the Blue Lagoon. Okay, coming back over. Beautiful, beautiful. And then coming over with our Fresh Forest. And I'm going to ink that up. Again, just those two. I don't really need to ink that third one up because it's going to be hidden behind those petals there. Beautiful. Man, I just love it. And every time I'm like, ooh, ah, oohing and ahhing. Okay, go ahead and take that mask off and then move over to this area. Doesn't that blue look so good? Oh, green, blue, green. Okay, and then we created the leaves here in this corner and this little guy. I will need a mask for two of these flowers. So we're going to use this one, a mask for that one, and a mask for this one. So let's see, oh, here it is. And we're going to put him right over there. There we go. Okay, and so then these leaves, and I do see a few. I don't. It's not just the two this time. There's like a bit of the third one that is visible here. Just a bit, just a wee bit. All right, I'm gonna move again, starting with my Blue Lagoon. I don't know if there's a reason I start with a Blue Lagoon. I'm pretty sure that it would work both ways in this case. So pretty. Love it. And then Fresh Forest. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. So you see just a wee bit of it right here. Very good. All right, so it's coming together, huh? It's coming together. Okay, so from here, we get to create a few more fun pieces. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and use this fun little sprig from the Lead Me stamp set, and it's got this, here it is. It's this fun little, I don't know, they look like little blooms. And I use them straight up with the Riverstone by itself. I don't mix this particular one. And let's see here. I actually put one of him kind of coming up and out here. So there is going to be some masking that I will be doing on this one. How about we turn it the right way? That's good. Let's go there. I'm gonna go ahead and put him down. So I'm gonna actually mask this pink flower and this red flower here and the purple one down there, just so that they don't get any of our Riverstone onto them. They are a little, Riverstone is pretty dark, so, and that one's pretty dark too, so I don't think it probably would matter too much, but you know, just to be on the safe side. I like to be on the safe side most days. Okay, and then this little guy here. This one is the one that's kind of hard sometimes to line up, but man, sometimes I actually do it like right on, like that one. Man, I'm good. I do want to scooch him up just a little bit. There we go. All right, make sure that he's clear up. See, I'm not clear because the little magnet is there, and that's a no-go, so we need to scoot that magnet over. Now I'm clear. If the magnet is in the way, it will not stamp clearly because it's got an obstruction. Okay, so ink him up. Riverstone, just Riverstone by itself. I wanted, again, that gray in there. There he is. And I kind of like him just the way he is. I don't think I'm going to add one more layer. I like him just fine. So I'm going to take up my masks. Beautiful, unobstructed images, filling in, love him. Okay, from here, I'm going to do a little bit of him over here on the side, kind of behind this leaf and flower. And so we're going to be using my little mask again for the purple flower. Let's see, that's pretty good. And this guy definitely will need a little bit of a mask. And the leaves I'm not going to worry too much about. I can come back with a white pen, and I was about to say, can I or do I want to go back with a white pen? I'm just not going to worry about it. Yeah, I can come back with a white pen and go over any of these lines if they are completely, if it just looks like it needs it. And it might. I didn't come back and cover them last time. This is my original. You could kind of see through it. So maybe I will go back and hide that gray. No. All right, let's see. Let's put him, I need him to go a little higher on the page. There we go. And then he really, I just wanted to fill in some of the gray. I see some of the gray, some of the white in between the flower there. I like him there. He's a little obstructed, so I'm going to move that down. Perfect. All right, let's come back in here with our Riverstone again. And not much of him is going to show really, but again, I'm just wanting to fill in that middle area. Beautiful. And I think that turned out quite nice. So you can see he's there, but he's not taking up too much space. Again, it's filler, so which is perfect, exactly what I was looking for. Okay, we've got our two gray fillers. Okay, so now, okay, let's do some more layering. Let's do some more color mixing, shall we? All right, so some fun. Okay, I'll do my favorite of the two. Okay, my favorite of the two is this little Stompy Wampy right here, and he is from, excuse me, the Chosen family. It's him right here. I really loved the design elements here, the stripes on part of the leaves and little dots on the ends. Loved it, loves it. Just provides a lot of texture inside your image. Okay, so he goes in a couple of places, and he is using two colors to create one of my favorite new colors. So the first one is right here, and oops, let me clean him up because I see that he still has a little bit of ink on him from my previous day's stamping. I don't want to muddy up my image. All right, so he's going to go kind of like right here. Maybe mix it, turn him a little bit. But as you can see, he's going to be coming over the pink and over this one. So I want to mask both of those images. I'm going to go ahead and grab him first so that I know I don't lose my spots. And I do want to bring, I moved him. I moved him. I moved him. Is that where I still want him? Yeah, that's still pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mask, oops, where is he? This little guy. Right there. Mostly masked anyway. And then this beautiful bloom here. And here we go. Again, let's make sure that he's unobstructed. Oop, he's a little bit obstructed there, so I'm going to try to move this guy back over here. Perfect, perfect. All right, so we're going to start with our pool play. So we are combining pool play and Riverstone together to create our lovely, very much fun muted gray blue, which it's probably my favorite mixture. That other green was, okay, it's going to be combined favorite because I love my little blue-green mixture here. All right, so he comes down. You can see it. It's a very pretty color. I love it. And then we come with our Riverstone. And I don't clean the stamp when I go from pool play to Riverstone just because it's a darker color and it's not really going to inhibit it so much. There. And then I'm going to do one more time with our pool play. I am going to clean this off just a little bit because pool play is lighter. I don't want him to be muddied. And, oh, I was about to go with Riverstone again. That's a big no-no. There we go. Gosh, my mat keeps moving. There we go. So coming back with pool play. So fun. And I might come back with pool play a couple of more times. We shall see how I like it. Yeah, I'm going to do one more time of pool play. I do want to make sure that my mask isn't getting overly saturated. If it gets overly saturated, if your mask gets overly saturated, the color will seep through. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch, because I've done that I think 3 or 4 times. I'm going to switch him out and cover him up using another one. There we go. And pool play. All right. I'll let that one dry out a little bit. You've got that fun leafy background there. Super fun. And we're going to do him one more time over here. Love, love, love that combination. So fun. All right, let's see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's right. He's between this pink one and this beautiful collaborative color. Is that what I should call it? Collaborative color? Mixed color? Probably a better better terminology there. Okay, and let's see here. We're going to cover up this little guy. We don't want him to get muddied. I think I cut mine a little too much. There we go. And then again with that little bloom, and I'm going to pick the one that wasn't colored too much. And actually, I'm going to cover, just going to go ahead and cover, yep, right there. All right, now let's see if I can position him well enough between those 2 magnets so that he'll fit. And he goes basically coming up off the page here. Like right there. Pretty, 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 pretty. All right, excellent. Okay, so we're going to start with our pool play again. Beautiful. Pool play, got it. Okay, Okay, and then we're going to come in with our river stone. I wonder if I'm going to try something. If I mute river stone, do a stamp off, stamp on technique, if it will just be, whoop. Yep, I think that's kind of what I was going for. One more time with our pool play. I just did Riverstone. Let me get pool play. We did pool play twice, didn't we? I didn't want it as dark, but oh well. Such is life. C'est la vie. My bad. That's okay. Remember, it does lighten up a wee bit, which you can already tell the difference between this that I just did and that one right there. So there we go. All right, take this one off. Very good. Come on. All right, we got my second favorite combo down. And let's see what's missing. Oh, that's right. The very last, is it the very last bloom? Nope, it's the second to last bloom, but it's such a fun one. It's this one right here. Isn't that fun? So cool. And the color combo that we're using on this one is Sweet Pear. Sweet Pear. And again, our River Stone, because we're coming in and trying to bring a little bit of that gray, okay? So this guy is gonna come up and he's gonna be like, hey, I'm here. It's gonna be right there. Let me make sure that the magnet is there. Pick him up. I am gonna cover those flowers. I don't want them to get any of that color. So he's going to be covered here. And this guy probably isn't going to really be colored so much, but I'll go ahead and cover him just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. Okay, again, trying to match these guys is like a difficult job sometimes, but I think I could do it. All right, let's make sure that that's what I thought, that little magnet's in the way. So I'm going to move him a wee bit over. Still on the way. How about down here? Can we work that? Can we work with that? Yes, we can. Okay, so very excited. Sweet Pear coming up first. I love Sweet Pear. Isn't that fun? You can hardly see him. He's kind of a yellowish green. He's super cool. All right, and then with our gray, and I don't want him to be too muted, or excuse me, too dark. And so I am going to do the stamp off technique. So we'll pretend like he's a, what's the word? Second generation stamping with the gray. Beautiful. I love it. So really what's happening here is you're just adding a little bit darker, a little bit of gray, just a tad, to that Sweet Pear. So it just changes the shade a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to use that same stamp and position him coming out kind of from this little angle here. Right about there. Now I do have to cover quite a few things. And so let's see what we can do here. We're going to have to cover, I'm not going to worry so much about that leaf there, but I am going to worry about Mr. Pinky and the purple. So pink and purple here. So the pink I'm going to cover up. And my beautiful purple flower, I want to make sure that he's not graded. I don't think that he'll be, that ink color is going to be dark enough to make a difference, but you know, just to be on the safe side. That darn magnet. Let's move him over. There we go. That should do it. Very good. All right, so I'm going to come in with Sweet Pear again. Beautiful. I love him. He's so fun. He brings so much vibrant vibrancy to the card. And then our Riverstone. Again, we're doing second generation stamping with Riverstone, so we're just going to kiss that off just a little bit and then bring that a little bit of gray. So fun. All right, move him off. Mr. Pink is still pink. Yay. And we still have that fun swirly design, which is so pretty. Okay, there's a couple of other things, and I actually forgot to do the corner leaves. This is a little stampy. So let me go ahead and do the corner leaves first. We're almost done, guys. Hang in there. Hang in there. Okay, so the last leaf that I did, which I forgot about, which this leaf here, and I do him kind of here in the corner and coming up and out on top of him. So this particular flower will need to be covered, and we're gonna use this guy. And you can see here how I've already used him to cover that area. And then I also want to cover Mr. Purple, so I can keep the purple. All right, so I'm gonna put him up here, and I'm gonna put this guy maybe over here and see what I can do with this leaf. Because again, I was trying to kind of fill in this white space that I created there originally. And so I think that'll work right there. Oops, what did I do? Cover it this way now. Right there. Oops, hello, let's get that one out of there. Okay, and we did do this with our original mixed colors. So I did Blue Lagoon, if you recall. Blue Lagoon. I'm gonna go ahead and, no, I'm not. There's Blue Lagoon. Pretty. Make sure my stamp is okay. Yes, God. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with our Fresh Forest. And put him down. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, so pretty. Man, I love it. I actually probably should, I need to leave this. I'm going to actually use the other one because I've stamped twice and I don't want it to be too saturated because I want this flower to be white. So I'm going to switch it out with this one, this mask. And then we're going to come up and we're going to stamp just right up here with the same stamp. I just want some of those leaves coming up and out of this from behind the bloom. So maybe even just, I think I did it where it was just a few little leaves coming out there. Oh, that's the wrong way. How many times do I have to do that before I remember? Probably quite a lot. I've got to rearrange my mask here. That one kind of, there we go. All right, so just where a few of them kind of come out. And again, with our Blue Lagoon, there we go. See, a few of them kind of poking out there. And then our Fresh Forest. Ta-da! There we go. It's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted a few of the leaves kind of poking out up from behind, so it looks like it's a bigger frond, palm frond back behind that flower. Okay, so there's that. All right, so I think I said that was the last little bit. The very, very, very last stamp is this adorable little stamp from the Lead Me stamp set. I love this, again, because of the fun little kind of balls, the berry kind of deals at the end. And with this one, I used our block D again, because I did not stamp this twice, just once was enough. And so I did this little guy here. Oh, I didn't tell you in what color. I did it in our oatmeal cookie. So he's kind of filling in a little bit there. And with this next one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mask this flower, because I'm going to come in with this little guy and just go, he's not going to stick out as far as the other one. He's just going to come kind of peek out right there. Very good. And then one more time on this end, he's going to peek out from behind this flower. Let me scooch up so you can see. And he'll come up and, gosh, let's see. Forgot which way I wanted. Let's get these magnets in place, huh? That's good. Let's go. You know, our magnets, they're wonderful, and then they're in the way. It's like, no, go back. This guy will go right here. Beautiful. Oh, love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So I think I've gotten all of the elements here in this card. I'm so excited. So excited. Okay. From here, really, it's just the sentiment. And then a couple of the super cute little dragonflies. And the little dragonfly image, he's so cute. Such a cutie patootie little stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the sentiment. All right, so here is the sentiment. Right there. Isn't that fun? Friends are our chosen family. Okay, so let's position this kind of right where I want it. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, you guys are probably tired of me saying that. I forgot. There's just a little space right here in the corner. I wanted them to match, or at least to be balanced is probably the proper term. So I wanted some green there. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Come on, guys. Remember the fast forward? All right, so let me come back with that palm frond, at least that's what I'm calling it, stamp here. And we'll position him, and yes, we will have to mask the pretty pink watermelon fusion flower. Make sure I didn't cover him up a little bit. Here we go. We'll mask him right there. It's really just this area back in here that I want. So maybe even just part of it, like right there. Oops, wrong way. Maybe we'll do it this way. Yeah. There we go. That's what I want right there. Just that corner. And again, we're not going to be using all of that. It's not like all of it's going to be colored. It's just going to, because of the masking, only that little bit of the corner will show through, which is what I want. Okay. There. And then Fresh Forest. Okay, done. I'm done. Okay, that's just what I want. I want it a little bit back there so that it kind of it's tied in together. Okay, now for the sentiment, and I'll go ahead and get rid of that here. And actually, I think I'm done. Actually, no, I'm going to keep this here because I wanted a bold sentiment, so I did it a couple of times. So I'm going to use my magnets to keep my mat in place. Put my sentiment kind of right where I want him. And I love the grid. You can kind of put it right, make sure that it's nice and straight, as straight as you can get it, nice and in the middle. Does that look good, guys? Is that pretty straight, pretty even? I'm thinking it's pretty good, right? If it's not, don't say anything, okay? All right, and we're going to stamp that sentiment in our black licorice ink. And I usually stamp sentiments twice just because I like them to be nice and bold. So that's one. Beautiful, and I love it. And we'll just do one more time just for the fun of it. Two. Beautiful. Just adds just a wee bit extra pop when you do it a couple of times. Oh, I love it, guys. So pretty. All right, so now really the last little bit is, how many times have I said that? The last little bit. I sound like a preacher. We're going to use our itty bitty little firefly. Oh, or lightning bug. Well, it's firefly. Cute little stamp. And I'm going to put him on my block D here. And I'm going to stamp him once down here and once up here in our black licorice. So cute. Love this little guy. One. Isn't that beautiful? So sweet. I love it. And maybe right here. Oh. So fun. All right. We've got pretty much everything down. I wanted to show you real quick. Remember I talked about the filler? Like when you mask, sometimes it creates that white outline there. I wanted to show you how you could take that out using our re-inkers. And so I'm going to grab our re-inker for Pretty Pansy. I'm going to grab our re-inker for any color that you need to fill in with. You can just grab the re-inker, grab one of your small blending brushes, and small because you want a nice small tip. Make sure that your tip is clean, okay? That is a huge, huge deal, especially if you use your markers a lot. I say your markers, your pens a lot. Half the time they will probably still have, look, that one has yellow in it. Some ink in it. And so clean it up really, really, really well until it pretty much shows clear like that. Okay, and I am just going to take a drop, like not even a drop. Shake it up first though, because it will kind of, it just needs to be shaken. It needs to be stirred. Okay, so I'm going to just do a tad. Like I don't even want to use a tad, like not even a tad. Just, it's a very, very small amount. How about that? I'm going to zoom in so you can see here what I'm doing. And I'm going to take that paintbrush and I'm going to fill in that area from behind. This is where the ink, you can see the ink. And I literally just touched a little bit of it. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to basically fill in the area that the masking kind of didn't allow for the ink to seep in through. So what this is doing, it's just creating a little bit more of a believable image as far as, you know, seeing that something is, you know, this flower is obviously in front and the purple one is behind. And now it will look a lot more like that since it doesn't have a white outline right there. Okay. And let's see, there's another spot over here that had a little bit of that same kind of thought here, and so we're just going to fill in just a wee bit there. Okay, and you could do that with the different colors, with your greens and your blues, and you can mix and match. So these blue-green ones, but I kind of like it kind of just the way it is. I see, I'm trying to think. This one here could use a little bit of touching up. Now this is where I combined two colors. So you're just gonna have to be aware when you do combine that you'll have to remember to bring in both of the colors. And so remember we used Pool Play and we used Riverstone. So if you're wanting to do any touch up, make sure you grab the re-inkers of both of those colors. So I'm just going to do, and again, it is just this infinitesimal, just tiny, tiny, tiny amount of both. You will end up not even using what you put down. I just know it. Okay, make sure your brush is clean. We're using this, when you use our True Color Fusion colors, you need True Color Fusion cleaner or blender rather. Our blender, where's our blender? Not cleaner, cleaners to cleaner stamps. Don't use that. use your True Color Fusion blending solution, okay, which is right here, to kind of blend it out if you need to. Use your cleaner if you want to clean your brush, which is what I think my point was earlier. All right, so I'm making sure my brush is nice and clean. Now I'm going to come in with the Pool Play first and fill in just right in there. And obviously it is blue. And then with a little bit of that Riverstone, a little bit, come in and fill in the rest. There we go. And now remember, it will lighten up, okay? It does lighten up after it dries. It's already much lighter than it was when we originally stamped, okay? Alrighty. I think we've got it. I think we're ready for assembly. We're ready for assembly. So let me go ahead and zoom back out so you can kind of see what we're doing here. Zoom out. There we go. I'm going to take this up and off my stamping tool, down onto my grid paper. Bring back the Lavender Fusion card base, as well as the strip of black that we were going to use for that little embellishment piece. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use, for the black strip, which is kind of what I do first, I'm going to use some of our craft glue just because it gives me a little bit of room to play with. What I did first was I lined up this first panel. I kind of made it flush with the bottom piece. Then I brought the black piece in and then just kind of played with it as far as positioning, because that's just what I found to be easier. So again, that at the bottom. And when I did this, I realized that basically I was leaving 1/8 of an inch strip of lavender purple at the top. And so that is a good kind of gauge for you when putting this together. So I'm going to remove that piece. I'm going to come in and get my craft glue. Mine's running out. I go through this stuff like crazy. I order like 5 at a time whenever I order because I use this stuff all the time. It dries clear. It's nice and tacky. It is not like Elmer's glue. FYI. Okay, so again, I said about 1/8 of an inch strip of the purple at the top will be kind of just exactly what you're looking for. Smooth it out. Make sure it's nice and straight. You want straight. And then from there, you can adhere your beautiful floral panel on top. And with this one, you can use your tape, glider, runner, permanent adhesive, whatever you want to call these things, and then maybe a little strip in the middle. And I actually stood it up. For whatever reason, standing it up for me worked well, because then I know for sure it's like flush on the bottom, which is what I want. Then I turn it over, give it a nice rub, and voila. Okay, very last step, I promise, is our Journey Glaze and our, what am I trying to say? Sparkle Dust. Journey Glaze and Sparkle Dust. So if you have not ever used our Journey Glaze before, well, first of all, what's wrong with you? I'm just kidding. You probably have never maybe gotten a bottle for whatever silly reason. You need to go ahead and get you a bottle today. All right. It is sold in our 2 ounce and 1 ounce bottles. And yes, I am looking for mine because I just used mine last night and created this card. Oh, there it is. Of course, it's in my drawer. This is our 2 ounce bottle. Again, it comes in a larger 4 ounce bottle. It is just such a great glaze, guys. It dries obviously clear. Excuse me. It is a glaze and resin mixture, actually. Okay, so if you like to make those kind of crystal drops and fun jewelry pieces, this is kind of like a mixture of that kind of a deal, that kind of a resin, and a glaze. It does not crack, crumble, it doesn't turn yellow over time. It is just nice and clear. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit. All right, so we're going to put a little bit on this wing. And a little bit on this one. So we're basically using it to kind of as a glue to adhere some of our sparkle dust. All right. And then here's some of our Journey sparkle dust. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see this because it's so fun. I'm going to bring out our media tray. Our Hunda Dunda media tray to collect any excess sparkle dust. And just do a little bit over it. Just a little bit. I covered it completely. And then, beautiful. And now you've got those beautiful iridescent wings on the dragonfly. So what do you think? Do you like that one? I kind of love it. I kind of love it. So this is our final take here on it. And I do want to point out something that turned out a little different than my original, and I realized it as I was filming, and I did mention it, which is this color mix right here is the Riverstone and the Pool Play. You have to do a second generation stamping of the Riverstone in order to get that lighter muted blue color, which is what I fell in love with in my original card. So it's obviously still gray, but you can see it's a little bit lighter than the one I did here on video. These two colors. And this is fine, but I wanted more of this kind of light blue. So in order to get that beautiful light blue, you just need to do that second generation stamping of your gray. All right, so don't stamp directly with that Riverstone first. You got to do stamp off on a piece of paper, then stamp over the Pool Play, and you'll get that beautiful color. That is this fun muted color here, which is achieved. So anyway, isn't this such a fun card? Now, yes, a super long video. Sorry, hopefully you just skipped forward to the fun parts. But I love it because it shows how you can layer our inks. Now again, I wanted to show you that little piece that I stamped the two colors there, and then of course the third color, which is right there. So these two together make that fun blue-green. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the color combinations of the mixed or the layered inks that I did to create new custom colors. So I'll start off with this one here. So this was our Pool Play, and this is second generation stamped Riverstone. Creates this fun grayish blue color down there. Then this is Sweet Pear, first generation. This is Riverstone, second generation. So I inked the stamp once, I stamped off, and then I stamped onto it the second time. And this is that color combination there. So just kind of a fun muted Sweet Pear. And this is Lavender Fusion and Riverstone, and then stamped together, so sandwiched. So that was Lavender Fusion, Riverstone, and then Lavender Fusion on top. And then, of course, the one I just showed you on the card, which was Blue Lagoon, Fresh Forest, and then those together to create this fun color. So cool, guys. So that is kind of like what I was super excited, beyond the fact that I just think this layout is really pretty and the colors are really pretty. The fact that we created our own colors to create this is just extra cool. You can't do that with just any ink, and I love that our particular combination of inks can allow you to do that. So super, super fun and super, super cool. Okay, guys, if you loved the card, liked it, loved it, let me know. I know it was a long video, but you know, sometimes they're long. That's why we have that little thing at the bottom you can scroll through quickly, or not if you have time. So again, inks are 20% off this month. Just go to my website to purchase, which is www.funstampersjourney.com/Janice Whiting. I am coach number 33 if you want to find me that way. 20% off through the end of the month, okay, through August the 31st, all right, so don't forget that. If you want to purchase the catalog, again, just go to the website, go to the little button or little link that says shop, and it'll take you to my online store, and you'll shop like you would any other online store. Pretty easy. The other thing I want to mention before I let you go is my event coming up September the 23rd. I'm having RG Hits the Road here in Waco. So if you are in the area, so Central Texas, or even from, I've got some coming from other places too, I want you to come. So come and have fun and craft. It's an all-day event. Richard will be coming for the first couple of hours. It's from 10 to 12. It's $55. You get a stamp set, 4 card kits. There's prizes and lunch and food and snacks and giveaways and just all sorts of fun stuff. So don't want you to miss it. If you're in my team, obviously I want you to come, but I know some of you guys are all over the world, so the US. So stay tuned for the info on the virtual kits, but that's just for my team. Anyway, I think that's it. If you want to find out any more information on any of the things I talked about today, then just let me know. Shoot a little comment here or go to my Facebook page. Forgot to mention, I have a little fun something coming up September 1st. I am joining a group of other coaches who are coming up with some fun crafty tutorials. Go to my blog, www.janicecreates.com, to find out more info, because it's all there. There'll be another little sneak peek on the 28th, and then of course on the 1st, you'll get all the info there. And I think that's it, guys. Hopefully you are super excited about this custom colorizing with our Fun Stampers Journey colors, at least as much as I am. And hopefully that will inspire you to go and play and get crafty. Okay, guys, I think that's it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.